Hi everyone, it's Wednesday night, the 22nd of July, and day 204. That's 204 of Living the Dream. Once again, my power statement for this morning that I wrote last night said this: I will continue my studying on how to set up a Facebook ad until I'm comfortable with how to set one up and to do it properly. I have all the content and creatives all ready to go in the video I've selected and done, and all that's done. Once I get it all set up the right way, I then can launch my focus group ad and get those 10 participants. Looking forward to that. Once again, I spent most of today watching and learning about Facebook and how to set up an ad the right way and what's the best way to do it, etc., etc., etc. Here's my to-do list that I had for today, Wednesday. 3 of them, same old thing, and it's the most important task, my fun task, my exciting task, accounts check, emails check. Write them down, because I'm going to tell you, my most important task for today, once again, was to watch videos on how to set up a Facebook ad, making sure my ad was tied to the right account, how to set up the text content, that whole, I'm learning, but that's okay. And then my fun task and my exciting task was the exact same thing. I started today doing the exact same thing that I did Monday and Tuesday, so I'm learning, and that's great. Next, Ray says, get honest with yourself. What didn't go well today, Marty, or what could you have done better? Did you wake up and early and start the day strong? Check. Did you start your morning with power? Mindfulness time. Going to the movies. Win the morning, win the day. Splash cold water first thing to make sure the day's started. No time to go back to bed. Take that bed. It's done. Were you productive throughout your day? Yes. Did you get the most important things done? Check. Right now, that's the most important thing, is to learn how to do that Facebook ad properly. And then I'll learn and tweak in that, I'm sure. Did you move your goals forward? Yes. Did you show up as the person you wanted to, and did you give personal time to Kathleen? Yes to both of those. I was present, and she was present with me. It was a great Wednesday night. In summary of these get honest with yourself questions, I asked, were you honest with yourself about today's task, Marty? Did you keep your commitment and promises that you made to yourself this morning? Well, the promises I made to myself this morning were the same promises I made Monday and Tuesday and yesterday, and they'll be the same ones for the next couple, 3 days, I think. I'm learning how to do a Facebook ad and set it up properly. I can say this, I'm learning a lot, and so I think I'm starting to know what to do and how to do it. But I do have a ways to go, I think, because I want to make sure I have the working pieces all set up properly that will make for a successful ad. Once I do an ad and I get $100 back and say I spent $100, then from that point on, if I make 100 and 100 just to trade up, but once I make 200 from putting my 100 in, then that extra $100 goes in my pocket, so I recovered everything, and now it's on Zuckerberg's ticket, his nickel. That's his $100 that I earned, and so I'm just using Zuckerberg money from that point forward. I'm looking forward to see how that works. The next question is, what movies did you watch in your mind today? Did you make time for them? And were there any new movies that the Two Amigos loaded up on your mind? No, of course. I watch my must-see TV favorite 5s. I do that every morning. Then there's all of the YouTube videos that I've been watching too. So that's what's been on my mind. I'm looking at these YouTube videos like I'm pre-playing my own Facebook ad setup, watching what they're doing like I'm doing it. It's just, I'm so hoping that it'll be a successful ad. Next, Corey asks, was there anything that didn't go well today, Marty? In other words, was there one thing you could have done better? And what would that one thing be that would make all the difference going forward? Another way to say this is, what's the one thing you'd want to get done tomorrow? Even if the day goes sideways doing it or running it or whatever, you'd still feel successful because you got it done. What would that thing be? And if so, and you can identify it, put it into as a power statement. Well, the one thing I think I can do going forward that I will make all the difference going forward is to take great notes from the videos I've been watching and the examples I've been seeing, making those notes like I'm doing, so that I have the habit learning of taking notes as I'm watching videos going forward. Keep it in a file folder that can always refer back to them and refresh my memory. So here's my power statement I have for tomorrow. I will continue studying how to set up a good Facebook ad and take good notes on it. Keep them in a little binder folder that I have, and I always refer back to them what I've learned, so I can stay on the right task and not get over several degrees off course. Next, I came up with this question: were there any mistakes or failures I had or made today that I can turn into a tool of success going forward? Well, once again, I didn't have any failure, nor did I make any mistake, because there wasn't any doing anything but watching and taking good notes. And so there wasn't anything I could turn into a tool of success. But like I said yesterday, I'll always be watching for those opportunities to turn into a tool of success. The next question is, what was the biggest success you had today, Marty? In other words, what did you do well? Well, my biggest success today was learning and finding a great series of videos that are really helping me understand the Facebook process and how the ad manager works. It's been so helpful. I'm so glad I found them, and they're free. Like I said, in my marketing tool, do it for free. Learn and pay that price of time, and then when you make some good money happen, then you can go and pay this extra cost. The next step of the end of the day success routine is to rate your day's effort, and so I gave today another 5. I gave it a 5 because, again, I slowed things down. I've been working at a slower pace, at a speed of 5, so to speak, so that I can be taking good notes and I can be learning the whys and how-tos about Facebook ad management. So, bam, done. Okay, I want to end the day strong. Here's what I'm grateful for today. I'm grateful for the principle that says you and you alone are responsible for your life. Some folks think that there are some exceptions to the statement, I'm in charge of my life. Some say, it's not my fault that the way my parents treated me when I was a kid. One time I came home and I wanted to tell them I had made the football team and I'd gotten an A on a test, and I couldn't get them to even listen to me. And I'm not responsible for the fact that my boss is a real bear. He won't allow me to accept much responsibility. Once I proposed a new sales plan to him, and he assigned a younger man to administer it. Yeah, I'm responsible for my life, but with a few exceptions, of course. Something you just don't get the breaks, Sometimes things just don't come to you the way you want them to, but that's the way the ball bounces. That's the way the cookie crumbles. That's the way the mop flops. I say, no. When will we learn? When will we learn? There are no exceptions. You must control your life. You are totally responsible for the results that you obtain. It's you, not your mother, and not your father, not your boss. It's not the brakes that control your life. Listen to that. It's not the brakes that control your life. It's you. It's you choosing your thoughts that controls your life. Don't ever say, that's the way the ball bounces. That's the way the cookie crumbles. Understand this truth. You must bounce your own ball. You must crumble your own cookies. You must flop your own mop. It's totally left up to you through the power of your thoughts, what you think. You can't control circumstances. You control your thoughts that then controls your actions that creates the results that you want. And you manage those feelings. Whew. Next, I'm grateful for the law of mediocrity. This law says too many of us try to write the wrongs from an outside-in process. Rather than worrying about what is happening in our own backyard, we attempt to reform the entire world, or at least a portion of it, thousands of miles away. The outside-in approach lends itself to what might be called official mediocrity. In the name of alleviating poverty, for example, we do not work on specifically equipping the person who is poor with the tools necessary to compete. Rather, we simply redistribute wealth. Far away, generally, that is an outside-in solution. Yet most of us know at a gut level that the long-term solution to the type of poverty I'm talking about here that most of us encounter in our industrialized society cannot be found in the next text of any book or on micro or macroeconomics. The most important thing to learn is the solution is micro in nature. It must begin inside the affected individual and work its way out. A Chinese proverb, we've all heard it, says this: give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish and you feed him for a lifetime. That's micro and macro economics right there. Next, I'm grateful for John D. Rockefeller, who said the secret of success is to do the common thing uncommonly well. I like that quote. Being willing to take action and get after it, but then take criticism in the wake of that with grace and a positive attitude is truly part of living the dream. That's a good quote to end the day on. So again, I'll be right back here tomorrow night, right back here at my laptop, continuing my journey to business alignment. Until then, I wish you all continued success. Good night.